Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here. For this video, I'm going to be taking you guys through my Project 60 warrior and all the sweet loot that I got from week 1 of raiding as we approach the beginning of week 2. So, my character has definitely gotten a few upgrades since the last time we talked. Some of them came from raids, some of them even came from dungeons, and a few of them came from some quest rewards that I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about in case you're deciding to do Project 60 or even maybe Project 70 as it begins here pretty soon. So, let's go down the line. My helm is still the Raider Aspirant's helm. This comes from Lower Blackrock Spire. Some of these blues are just too good to pass up, especially for all the stamina that they give. In terms of my my neck piece, the Pendant of the Qiraji Guardian, I imagine this comes from, I think it's probably AQ either 20 or 40, judging by the Qiraji part of it, but I'm not sure which one. But either way, even though it's one less stamina than the one that comes from Lower Blackrock Spire, it has strength on it too, and I really like that. The agility is not that big of a deal. The dodge might be nice, but the main thing is it has strength and stamina, which I love. These ones also, the Mantle of Horasath, also come from, I believe, AQ 20. They're a huge 27 stamina stat, so even though they're kind of low on strength, I mean, for me, right now, my character has about 20k health, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, I know it's crazy for a vanilla character. Usually would have maybe like a quarter of that. But still, we're doing Project 70 here, and you want to make your characters as powerful as possible with the gear available. So, we got that, which is awesome. Now, this came from the world bosses that are part of the World of Warcraft 13th anniversary event. And just because, you know, these world bosses were around in vanilla, we just said, you know what? Let's go ahead and let this gear be usable for the purposes of Project 60. It just makes it more fun. Go kill some world bosses, get some really good gear. It's cool. But I did get the green dragon skin cloak, which has 17 stamina, 11 strength, haste, and burst, which I can actually use. A lot of this gear uses mastery, which doesn't have any effect for us, but those stats are both usable for me, and it reduces my nature damage taken by 1%. So that is an absolutely insane cloak, and I love it. But moving down the line, we also have the Plate of the Shaman King, Lower Blackrock Spire. Big stamina stat, good strength stat. We got it enchanted with 100 health. Really nice piece of gear. Another world drop is the Dragon Bone Wrist Guards. These have 17 stamina, 11 strength, haste, which is then the mastery kind of goes by the wayside. But we also have those enchanted with 9 stamina as well. Let's hop up to these gloves. The Reaver Claws. Once again, we've gotten some epic drops, and I'll go through the other loot that I've gotten as well. But these still have by far the most stamina on there. So we've got them enchanted with some more strength, and that's what I'm using for my main tanking set. We also have the Belt of the Sandri, where this came from AQ 20, I believe. The 14 stamina, 3 strength is really, really nice on there. Got a little bit of dodge, a little bit of verse too. A little bit of pretty high item level on there as well, but once again, mostly interested in the stamina. And speaking of stamina, Leg Plates of the Destroyer, also from AQ 20, give me 25 stamina. Huge stats to try to absorb some big hits. Gonna need that in AQ 20 just to survive some of those unbalancing strikes that the Twin Emperors do, if we're hoping to down that at some point this week. We also have Rib Steel Foot Guards, 18 stamina, enchanted with 5 stamina, can't argue with that. Now, we have Ring of Entropy, which also dropped off of the world boss. And the rings, they don't have any strength on them, but once again, the stamina stat is so nice. This has 17 stamina on it. The 26 crit ain't too shabby either, but the mastery goes by the wayside. We also have the Mark of the Dragon Lord. This one comes from the very last boss of Lower Blackrock Spire. Would recommend that you guys try to get this. It seems to drop really, really often. The shield is nice. It's not like a huge shield that's going to stay very long against the big meaty hits that we're dealing with in the raids, but it's still nice to mitigate a little bit extra damage. And the 15 stamina is sweet. So my trinkets are kind of interesting. Here we go. The Heart of Noxian comes from the first boss in Maradon, but it gives me 9 stamina and 6 nature resist. A trinket that is better than this, that I'd recommend that you guys get, is when you quest through Ngoro, the very last quest, there's a trinket that drops that gives you 11 stam, 11 strength, 11 agility, but you have to be in a DPS spec, I believe, to get it. So if you're a tank, make sure that you're rolling as a DPS spec when you go and complete that quest, so you can get the Windmill trinket, which gives you 11 stamina. But the nature resist is nice, and the poison removal is nice too. I also did another quest, Lunk's Special Gear, and I think it's in Searing Gorge, I want to say, maybe Burning Steps, one of those with Lunk and all the dwarves and stuff. But if you complete that full quest line, he gives you a trinket that gives you 11 stamina and gives you a little heal on top of that as well. And you can't argue with that. So in terms of my weapons, I've got the Empyrean Demolisher. This just dropped for me yesterday from Lord Kazakh. It's got a nice 13 stamina, 8 strength, pretty good DPS on there. and it also has a chance to proc haste. And haste for prot is nice because it's going to give you a little bit more globals to try to keep that rage generation going and make sure that you have your active mitigation going as well. So that's really, really nice. Still have not gotten an upgraded shield. Still rocking the Rombeard Protector. But 9 stam, 9 strength, not too bad. Usually whenever I get a better shield, it's going to be like maybe 11 strength, 11 stamina. So a little bit of upgrades, but nothing too shabby. Hopefully we get that today as we run through some dungeons and world bosses as we go. But that's the gear that I'm using mostly. But I do want to show you guys some other stuff. So no more helms. I did get this. This is another nature resist gear. This comes from AQ, or sorry, just questing out here in Silithus. In terms of shoulders, I have the Pauldrons of Might, which are still awesome. They look really cool. We've got a couple different cloaks. We've got Gaia's Embrace, which is a nature resist cloak. You can see that one right there. Got the Drape of Unyielding Strength, is what I use for Transmog, I believe. But the Arachnophiles is also what I was using before. Arachnophiles is really, really good. This comes from Lower Blackrock Spire. I was using this until I got the green dragon skin cloak as well. So in terms of chest pieces, I have an Iron Vine breastplate, which is nature resist. I don't know if nature resist is a huge deal, but we have it available if we need it. I have a bunch of different bracers. I have like bracers of brutality, bracers of the Defiler wrist guards. I'm pretty sure these are just PvP gear that I need to sell. But the Dragonbone wrist guards are just by far in a way better. I think some Lower Blackrock Spire bracers are even better than these purples too. So if you guys are getting the point, BRD Lower Blackrock Spire is what you need to be farming when you're trying to get the pre-raid loot. Once again, the Reaver Claws, I have some Iron Vine gloves, which are nature resist. I have the Gauntlets of the Immovable, which are strength, stamina, and parry. But the stamina on these ones are just way too good to pass up. And the Gauntlets of Might, of course. So I'll try those on for you. Those look pretty cool too. And then these green gloves are pretty funny. But we got a few belts too. Once again, we have Nature Resist belt, which is a nice shade of green. And the Belt of Might, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen already. But that has some fire resist on there. We might have to use that eventually, like in MC. We'll see about that. But Flame Walker leg plates have fire and shadow resist. So we do have some shadow resist gear if we need it. But right now, like I said, I've just been stacking stamina. Only good boots I've gotten are these rib steels, man. It's just too much stamina to pass up. A few different rings. You've seen the entropy. This one has a socket on it, which is pretty funny. And the Navel Ring, actually, I think it's people were wondering whether it procced or not. It does proc, and it shows up as thorns in Skada. So it does do a little bit of damage, but I'm just trying to stack the stamina right now. I could put this ring on if we need extra DPS, but the extra stamina is what I'm rocking right now. And of course, in terms of trinkets, this one, the Force of Will, is very, very nice. Would recommend it, getting that from BRD. It just reduces damage taken, which is really, really sweet. In terms of DPS, like if we're trying to burst a boss, or if we're doing like Chromag or something like that, Smolderweb's Eye is really good for the nature phase. And similarly, the Cannonball Runner is really, really good for the fire phase. Both of these trinkets, if I want to do a little more damage, I'll put that on there. But that's what I'm rocking in terms of my trinkets. In terms of weapons, I've got a couple cool weapons. We've got the Sulthrays that I actually farmed up myself, right? We got that from Zul'Farrak, which is pretty awesome. Put that on my back there. We've got Maladath, which is really, really cool too. It does like pretty good DPS, but it's just no stamina stats, so it's hard for me to use it. I got this one from doing the AQ quest, the Sickle of Unyielding Strength. Let me see if I can whip that out for you. There we go. This is pretty nice. You can do this AQ quest to get that one. Iron Foe, as you guys saw if you saw my leveling up video, we got that. That dropped for us. We got this one from AQ20 as a two-hander. We got this Hammer of the Northern Wind, does icy chill damage and launches a bolt of frost, which is what one of the things we're gonna use. Actually, I haven't even equipped it yet. What we're gonna be using to kill Vicidius. We need that frost damage. We'll put some frost oil on there. Be doing a lot of frost damage. And I think what else did we missing? We're of course the Typhoon. This dropped for me from the world boss too. This is my arms weapon of choice. It looks awesome. It's really high item level too. It Warforged and put speed on there too. It's pretty wild. But all in all, mostly what I'm using is the Empyrean Demolisher and the good old Rombeard Protector for my normal gear. So that pretty much is the general idea of what I'm working with for my sets. As you'll see, I have different sets. I have the Nature Resist set. I have Max Resists, which is for fire and probably shadow. But I probably could put my Nature Resist on there too if I really want to make it Max Resist, but I hadn't added that to the set yet. For T-Mog, this is what I usually use in BGs, just to look cool. But all in all, I'm usually rocking that full HP tank to get the 20k HP. And then once I actually get another shield, that might be up a little bit, well above 20k HP, unbuffed and all that, which is awesome. But anyways, guys, hope you guys are having fun with Project 60. Hope you guys are having a good time watching all the content as well. Today, I think we're actually be doing a raid race. So whoever is all raiding is going to put teams together, run through MC, BWL, and maybe even AQ. I think that stream is going to be... I'm going to start my stream shortly after this video goes live, but I think that event is starting at noon PST. And then apparently Project 70 is set to begin next Friday, this coming Friday, which is insane. But I guess since we've cleared all the content, it's reasonable to move on. I've been having a lot of fun with Project 60. I definitely intend to continue to play my Project 60 character, and maybe even will, you know, continue to come back here and do raids on him during the leveling process of Project 70 and whatnot. But either way, this has been a blast. Hope that you guys are continuing to enjoy it. Let me know how your characters are going in Project 60 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!